So we have the final of the women's hammer throw coming up. 12 ladies booked their place in the final last night. This is Petra Skava. She's going to be throwing first, the athlete from Moldova. And here she is, DeAnna Price from the US. Can she become the first American female hammer thrower to win a medal at these World Athletics Championships? The Polish athlete, Joanna Fiodorow. She's this 2 times European bronze medalist. She won the match Europe versus USA just 2 weeks ago. And the Chinese athlete, she qualified in 12th position for this final. Lu, what can she do? Personal best of 75 meters. And here we've got the Slovakian. That's Hashlova. She's twice a European silver medalist. And a second Chinese athlete to make this final. She was second here at the World Athletics Championships in London 2 years ago. That's Wang. Malkashev. She made the final 2 years ago, the Bulgarian athlete in London. She finished 10th. And here we go, this was Berry, the second US athlete to make this final. She's thrown the second furthest throw of the 2019 season. Struggled a little bit with inconsistency, but she's here, she's made the final. And this athlete, Skyden, she threw a really good throw to qualify for the final. She was delighted, the Azerbaijan athlete. Belarusian, Soboleva, she's been a finalist previously in 2015. 4 years ago, she matches that. The French athlete, Taverna, she picked up the bronze medal 4 years ago in Beijing at this championship. She goes in her second World Championship final. And an athlete who was thrilled. She actually threw a personal best last night to make this final. This is Clements from the Ukraine. She's the new World University Games champion. That was a couple of months ago in Napoli. Invited to make this final. They'll go soon. So we go to the hammer. This is our first field final at this World Championships. This is DeAnna Price. How can she start? Oh, it's a great throw. Yeah, she liked that. We'll just have confirmation. The speed that she gets, and she really just roared and almost did a dance, didn't she? A trajectory to almost will it on. She's gone all the way out to 78.24 this season, which is a North American record, and 76.87. Could actually that be the winning throw already? That's more than anyone did in qualification. So this is the third athlete to grace this circle in the IAAF World Athletics Championships final, the women's hammer. This is the 2 times bronze medalist, the Polish athlete. Again, she follows that with a big roar, and that's over 75. It looks a similar distance to DeAnna Price, and that could be a personal best for Fiodorow. Look at that, 101 kilometers per hour. Yeah, that is in excess of her personal best. Well, what a way to start this championships. 76.35. This is the Romanian. This is the second attempt. And again, so many of these women are just roaring after the implement as they let go of it. This is Petra Skava. That was 73.60, 95 kilometers per hour. We saw the other competitors getting up to the 100 now. It was the Polish athlete, wasn't it? 101 kilometers per hour that she launched that ball into the stadium. 73.60. pretty consistent scorecard so far. 73-73 on her first attempt. Just getting a little bit of advice from the coach there. Well, it's a lovely evening inside the arena. So much action that we've already taken in over the last three and a half hours or so. We've got another 3 hours of action, culminating in that men's 100-meter final, of course. So this is Wang. She goes in 6th place in the running order. She was 2nd here at the World Athletics Championships when it stopped off in London 2 years ago. She was actually a bronze medalist in Moscow in 2013. So can she get back on the podium? At her best, it would suggest she can. Oh, she just rattled the cage. It went off the left-hand side. This is what can happen. The athletes know as soon as it, releases from their hands, it's really important that they just make sure, it's really difficult to actually project your body as you're going at 100 kilometers per hour and having the accuracy to know exactly what angle to release the hammer at as well. But yeah, Wang, 72.94 from the first round, is currently in 5th position. This is Malchevik, the Belarusian athlete. She made the final in London 2 years ago. She finished 10th. She qualified automatically. She got over that qualification distance that was asked. Only a couple of the athletes managed to do that. Not managing to do that on this occasion. We can see some really good angles there. You can see the speed of release. It's a really useful graphic to have. She's some 13 kilometers per hour slower than the athlete, the Polish athlete that we saw take it out all the way to 101, and she was rewarded with a 76.35 was Freya Duck. It's so important to have that accuracy, have that eye to know exactly when to release, and to obviously be able to generate the speed and the power in the circle to get that momentum behind the hammer. So here we go. This is Gwen Berry, the 2nd furthest thrower thus far in 2019. She struggled a little bit in qualification. She couldn't achieve that automatic mark. She finished down in about 9th or 10th position, which allowed her to take her spot in the final this evening. Let's see what she offers on her 2nd attempt. Yeah, and very like Wang, she made contact with the cage, so that'll go down as a no throw. 12 athletes, of course, make this hammer final. Eight of them will have 6 attempts. Those athletes from 9 to 12 after 3 rounds will have no further attempts. So it will get whittled down from 12 to 8 after the 3rd round. Now this is Hannah Skyden, the Aborigines athlete that I really enjoyed watching yesterday. She has qualified, she's been 5th in this championships previously, but her season hasn't gone the way she wanted it to, so she was delighted to ensure qualification just last night, 24 hours ago. It's a quick turnaround for these hammer throwers. What can she do? Well, she was 70.69 in her first round. That looked a little bit further. Looked maybe around about 72 meters. And 71.99. That puts her up into 7th position. So that's DeAnna Price. Very like Christian Coleman when he was sat on the chair for 10 minutes or so. Looks like she's just composing herself, having a little think. Asper Boda, 2015 World Championship final, enters the circle for her 2nd attempt. She just interestingly had a little bit of a look at the field. Maybe she's visualizing where she wants the hammer to land. And it just went a little bit to the left. It's out of the segment, that won't be marked. So we're approaching the end of round 2, just 2 competitors left to go. And that's how it looks so far. Eleven of the women have got valid throws, just Berry, who's not registered a mark thus far, and the French athlete, DeAnna. What can she do in the second round of this women's hammer final? She qualified with a 72.91. She was 71.50 in her first round. I really like how she almost dances as she releases that hammer, and that's just over 70 meters. It's going to be pretty similar to her first round attempt. Yeah, she shrugs. It's not enough. She'll have one more attempt in round 3, hoping that it'll go out a little bit further than that, so she'll get 3 additional throws. This young athlete, she's come into form. She was delighted to make this final. She actually threw a PB to qualify, 72.93. And actually she went further in the first round, 73.17. She's in great form. She's paced her season really, really well. So Klimitz prepares herself for a second throw. So fast. Oh, and that's massive. Almost out to the 75-meter line. Gosh, this athlete has come here in shape. That's way in excess of 74 meters, and we can see there on the graphic 99.1 kilometers per hour, and she was rewarded with getting so much momentum behind that hammer. She was a very, very fast athlete in the circle, even though she's really lightly built. She's just having the championships of her life at the moment. 73.56. That's her third personal best in 24 hours. And it's currently putting her in 4th position. So this is really interesting. This is the best 3 throws that we've had so far. The blue one is Price. The green is that really speedy one of the Russian, Polish athlete Fiodorow. And then the orange is from the Romanian Paraska. So we can see the difference in the trajectory. It's actually the Russian athletes, the Romanian athlete, sorry, who actually has the trajectory. It gets higher into the air, but we can actually see Price, she's the one in the middle, the blue line. It just comes at a slightly different angle. We can see that some of the throwers are left-handed throwers versus right-handed throwers. It's obviously a personal preference of, you know, whether they prefer left or right, very much like what hand you write with. But yeah, really good contrast to see the top 3 throwers thus far. And that's another one out towards 75 meters there. We're in round 3 now. This is the athlete from Moldova. She was 5th in the Rio Olympic Games. Her father coaches her, and she's also got a brother and sister who are international throwers. So they're representing the family and Moldova extremely well in the hammer throw. Where did that go out to? We'll pick that up in a moment. This is Price. She enters the circle for the 2nd time, leading the competition so far. It went out to 76.87 on her first attempt. And that was massive. That is the furthest throw that we've seen this year. She's produced the 2 furthest throws in the world already this year with a 77.43 and a 78.25. 1:24, which was the North American record. On 101.5 kilometers per hour speed there on release. That shows that she got so much speed behind that. The more speed you generate, as long as you've got the accuracy, you're rewarded with a great distance. And that's her second furthest throw ever, 77.54, the second furthest throw in the world this year for DeAnna Price. No, it's not a good evening at all for the Polish athlete. She didn't like that. No, she's shaking her head. 74.77, still a good throw. Oh, sorry, we're on the third attempt, 72.78. You know, she's actually putting a good series together, and it's great to see that she's not happy with the 72. Of course, she's superseded that twice already, still in second position with that 76.35. So we are in the third round now, and 12 will become 8 at the end of the third round. So some of those athletes looking for form are going to have to find it in this third attempt. This is Lu, the Chinese athlete. She's gone out so far to 72.04 in the second round. Is that one any further? No, it doesn't look it. Just over 70 meters. So 72.04. She remains at the moment in sixth position. So she's holding on by a couple of whiskers to that top 8 at the moment. Still got 8 more ladies to go. So nervous moments for her. Lu has done everything that she can at this current time. Give us a bit of a wave. This is Hajanova. This is the Slovak athlete. Went out to 71.28 in round 2. She's in 9th position, so she needs to improve on that 71.28 to have any further part in this hammer throw final. Well, we were following her reaction rather than the hammer at first, and yeah, she's just landed it outside the segment. So 9th position at best for the Slovak athlete. She'll play no further part in this final. Twice European silver medalist. She was actually a world bronze medalist all the way back 10 years ago in 2009 in Berlin. So she's kept her form well to be competing at the top of the sport all of these years. So Wang currently in 5th position, the Chinese athlete, 72.94 first round. She had a foul in the second round. What can she do in the third round? Can she get towards that 75-meter line? And no, she can't. She comes out the front of the circle. The hammer hits the left-hand side of the cage. All about precision and accuracy. But 5th position so far. This is Berry. Berry is now in her 3rd round. Oh, and again, she clatters the left-hand side of the cage. And is that 3 fouls for Berry? I make it 3 fouls. I think she hasn't registered a distance. And that'll be, yeah, that's confirmation. That is so disappointing. She came here ranked world number 2. What a shame. So all the hopes, the American hopes lie on DeAnna Price. Can DeAnna Price take a medal back to the US for the first time in this event at World Championships? So again, after 3 rounds, these are the 3 furthest throws we've seen by the competitors. We can see the different angles, we can see the speed, we can see the trajectory. Price in blue, the Polish athlete Fiodorow, hers is in green, and then again, no change, the Romanian athlete, her throw is still in 3rd place. Okay, so the field will be whittled down to 8 at this point. This is Skydam. She's down in 7th at the moment, 72.80, the best that she's registered so far. This is where the competition will really heat up, where the medals are going to be decided. And that's coming down. Similar distance that we've already seen from her, 72.80 was a 3rd attempt. That looked a really similar distance for Skydam. If so, she'll stay in 7th position. And she's guaranteed another 2 throws to try and improve, move her way up from there. And 72.83, it was marginally better, just 3 centimeters better than her 3rd attempt. So this is Wang. She went out to 72.94 in her 1st attempt. 2 fouls followed in the 2nd and 3rd. She's still lying in 6th position. Can she get herself in the medals? Here she goes, 4th attempt. Yes, over 75 meters. Well, a 3rd one hit the cage. Didn't make the same mistake this time. You can see the power, the speed, and almost just coming out of the front of the circle. They really have to stop themselves. They've got all that momentum built behind them, and they actually have to decelerate and make sure that they don't come out of the circle. 73.75, that moves her up into 4th position. So we're in round 4 of the women's hammer final. This is the athlete currently in 2nd position. This is Fiodorow. Oh, and that looks a big one. I'm just trying to keep up with her scorecard. She's gone out to 76.35 in the 1st round. Yeah, I don't think it's quite as far. It was a good attempt again. She's got a really good scorecard so far. 76.35 in the 1st round, 74.77. She had a 72.74, but that one looked up around about 75 meters or so. 74.69. She stays in silver medal position. Here we go, DeAnna Price. A little bit of an acceleration, a little bit of a blowout of the cheeks. She's having a little think about it, as is Wang. So Price will be the next one to enter the circle for her 4th attempt. She went all the way out to 77.54, remember, in the 3rd round. The 2nd furthest throw in the world this year, her 2nd furthest throw of her career. That may be enough. We may have already seen the gold medal moment, but we're getting deep into this hammer final now. 4th attempt for DeAnna Price. Well, she didn't seem as excited about that one. She's quite exuberant. She knows when she's launched a good one. She wasn't keen to follow it. You can often tell by the reaction of these athletes before we even see the scoreboard. Yeah, she just checks at her feet, looks at her body position, rather at the distance that the hammer's going down the field. Very relaxed, and why should she not be? She's winning this women's hammer at the moment, and 74.56. So Wang, we saw her moment of reflection a moment ago. She's currently sits in the bronze medal position. She's gone out to 73.75. Can she improve? Yes. She likes that. She had a foul in the second, a foul in the third, but that one looks good. She gives herself a tap on the head. Finally, I've got it right, she's saying to herself. Just a couple kilometres underneath that 100 kilometres per hour. Each of the throwers have 1 minute to throw. She had 30 seconds left on the clock when the hammer got released. And 74, 76. She improves in the 5th round. Zelina Peteskaya. She enters the circle, her 5th attempt. 74.33 from the 3rd round, still her best thus far. That looks really similar distance. Just coming in around about 74, 75 meters. A little bit of an image of a coach there. Nervous moments for the coach as much as the athletes. The coach can't control anything at this moment. 74.27, just 6 centimeters short of her 3rd round throw. So these athletes are allowed to go and have a little bit of a talk to the coach, get a little bit of advice. This is our athlete lying in 2nd position, Wlodarczyk at the moment, 76.35. She threw that, her very first attempt. Just over a metre behind DeAnna Price. 1.20 meters between her and the gold medal, and no. That's probably out of the sector. Yep, you could see as soon as she released that, it went over to the right-hand side. She's not happy. She'll have one further attempt. Never medalled at the World Championships, so this will be a first. Picked up a couple of bronzes at the European Championships in the last couple of editions. But this is our leader. Could this be the first medal? Could it be a gold medal that the US have won in this women's hammer throw at IAAF World Athletics Championships? There's a lot of pressure on DeAnna Price's shoulders coming into this championships, but throwing 77.54 in that 3rd round. It shows that she's come here in great form. 8 weeks since the US Championships now, where she threw that North American record.
Just looking down the history books, Jenny, no American woman has ever finished better than 7th in this final. That shows you the magnitude of what she's close to achieving here.
Wow, America is so great on so many events, so that's quite surprising. So it looks like already DeAnna Price is going to make US track and field history. And again, a really solid throw. Well, these are nervous moments for athletes like DeAnna Price now. She's had her 5th attempt. 1 attempt left to go. Not only will she be thinking about herself at this point in time, what she wants to achieve, but she'll also have one eye on the other competitors, what they could also throw as well. Can anyone knock her off the podium? She's got 1 foot on it, on the top of the podium already. 77.54. This competition has really lived up to expectations. These are great distances. 76, 77 meters. These distances will stack up at any World Championships so far. A penny for her thoughts. It's great for the fans, isn't it, Rob, that they can actually get close up and personal with some of the athletes like this and their coaches and their support team. And a lot of these people here in the crowd are getting treated, you know, almost a fly on the wall. They're getting treated to some of the information, you know, the tactics, the technical things, etc. And when they watch the next throw of DeAnna Price, they'll think, oh, I knew she was going to do that.
I also think it's great that we don't have any track athletics on at the moment. So the sole focus of the stadium is on this thoroughly intriguing women's hammer final.
Here we go. After 5 rounds, we can see the gold, the silver and the bronze throws of the top 3 competitors so far. There's not much in them in distance, but you can see the trajectory is very different for all 3 of those. It all comes down to height, how they like to release the angle, the speed, of course, on the runway. But sometimes we just get caught up with statistics and athletics. But I think a lot of fans sat at home will be able to look at that and look at it in a different way in case they don't really know enough about the hammer throw. These statistics, I think as we keep seeing them, they'll really build our understanding of the event. And it's great for the athletes to know that the fans of the sport are following, and we're trying to keep up to date with all the different technicalities, because it's such a technical event, this women's hammer throw.
It is, and these women are very, very fit and agile. And yes, of course, they spend a huge amount of time in the gym. But these power events require a wide range of skills. And as I mentioned a moment or two ago, very rarely do you have a situation where a field final is the only live action going on. So a wonderful opportunity for DeAnna Price, Fiodorow and Zheng Wang to make the most of being the centre of attention. And you know what, I really like DeAnna Price. I think she's got a philosophy in life that will resonate with people all over the world. She goes and talks in schools frequently about body image and size. More of that in a moment as we do enter the last round.
So at this point in proceedings, we have a change in the order. We go from 8th to 1st position. So this is Lu. She qualified for this final in 12th. She's finished at least 8th. So she really has done well here this evening. Didn't get the automatic qualification, but come top 8 here this evening. Oh, and she's finished with a foul. Her best will be 72.04 from the 2nd round. So DeAnna Price, 6 athletes separate herself from the gold medal. Skydon, one of those 6. What can she do? Currently in 7th position. 72.83 from the 4th round is her best so far. And this is what we've become accustomed to. She really, really cheers that hammer down the field, but that will not be her best throw of the evening. It will definitely be that 72.83, her attempt 4. She wanted it, she urged it, she gave everything that she could. Skydon remain in 7th position. 70.99, 7th position it is.
Now, what about Tavernier, Jenny? She's definitely got the credentials to throw the cat amongst the metaphorical pigeons. She's been around a while now, the 25-year-old. World bronze 4 years ago, European silver last year. If she can throw a lifetime best, I know that's a big ask in a final, she'd be up in with a shout of a medal.
She would. She actually set a national record this year, 74.84, which would be enough for the bronze. It's one thing to be in the shape, but actually to plan your season, to peak at the right time is quite another. But here we go, let's see. No. No, she knew, didn't she, straight away. The emotion on her face shows it. She'll finish in 6th position. Yeah, she just looked down at her feet, put her head behind her hands. Well, that would be good, wouldn't it? Hands behind her head, should I say?
I knew what you meant.
We might give her a gold medal if she's able to do that. But yeah, the raw emotion of an athlete who's done really well. I mean, 6th in the world. These athletes are incredible, but not quite doing that extra, you know, maybe one of those throws that she's dreamt of, just not quite getting it at the time when she needed it most. This athlete has really impressed me over these last 2 days here. Climates, the Ukrainian athletes, 3 personal bests already, 1 in qualifying and 2 here in the final. Oh, that won't be a best, but she's really, really happy. I think if someone actually told her she'd come away at this World Athletics final and she'd come 5th, if someone told her a couple of days ago, I think she would have taken that. So light, not as tall as some of the other athletes. She gets some real speed, some real power, and some amazing accuracy as well. She's enjoyed herself out here this evening. 71.95, 5th position it is for climates. So DeAnna Price, just 3 athletes between herself and that top podium finish. Petra Skaya in that awkward 4th position. She doesn't want to be 4th. She'd love to get a medal. And she's given it a really good shot, hasn't she? Again, just coming down outside 75 meters. She's had 2 74-meter throws. They came in the 3rd and the 5th round. That one didn't look like it quite had the distance that a 3rd and 5th attempt had. I think it's 4th position, yes, 72.94. Oh, so near, so far, as Wang enters the circle.
She knows she's guaranteed a medal. The worst it will be is bronze. Can she upgrade here? Coaches roaring their encouragement. Can she finish a good competition with a great twist of drama? No, she can't. Well, she's on the podium. She's got herself a global medal, and hopefully, after a few minutes to get over the disappointment of that throw going into the netting, oh, there is a wry smile. I hope she would start smiling. It's a great competition from Wang. We will see her on the podium.
We will, and it's her 3rd time on that podium as well. She got a bronze in 2013. She had a silver in London 2017. And 3rd time. How consistent. It's absolutely fantastic to be able to do this on that level for so long. And really the cage, the side of that netting was a nemesis, wasn't it? But here we go. This is Fiodorow, the Polish athlete. She's guaranteed a silver. Oh, and it's really, really close to the sector. I can't decide whether she's happy or she's frustrated. It looks happy to me.
That is big. That is big. It's right on the line. She is so fired up. Waiting for that to be measured. Her competition is over. She knows she's on the podium. Twice a European bronze medalist. It is a foul. So her tears are tears of joy. It was a big throw, but a foul brings her competition to an end. But look at what the silver means to her. And now DeAnna Price has the wonderful honour of choosing to take her last throw, already knowing she has become the United States' first female hammer world champion. And she has the whole stadium watching in awe and wonder.
Yeah, magical moment for both the gold and silver medal winners. We couldn't quite decide what Fiodorow was wondering and thinking, but it was obviously tears of joy and happiness to guarantee that silver medal. She played her cards close to her chest. She's be good at poker. She definitely would be. We didn't know whether she was happy or not, or whether she was devastated to just get that foul. It was a long one, but it just went out of the sector. But here we are, witnessing a moment of history for US track and field and DeAnna Price here this evening.
She has the longest throw in the world this year, and she has delivered once again exactly when it counts for a slice of sporting history. One last big flourish, it doesn't matter, she'd love to finish with a big throw, and now the tears of joy and delight. She cannot believe it. All those years of wanting, all those times where she missed out. 8th in Rio, 9th in London. She is the world champion. And I think there'll be young women all around the world who can relate to DeAnna Price. Listen to this. She goes into schools and talks about having issues with body image. She says, I've been every size. I've been small, I've been large, and I've been extra large. Society has a way of making you feel there's something wrong with how you're built. I want people to know it doesn't matter where you come from, who you are, or what you've done, as long as you can look in the mirror and be proud and happy with what you see. And DeAnna Price has absolutely lived up to the motto that she takes into schools all around the United States. She's created history for her country, herself and her family. She's the world champion.
Yeah, what wonderful, wonderful scenes. And she's won the first of what I believe will be many medals for the USA. But this sport of athletics, or track and field as they call it in the States, is very much an individual sport. You're the one who's out there in the gym. You're the one who's out there on the track. You're the one who's out there doing it quite often on your own, when friends and other people are choosing not to do that. She'll have had lots of moments in her life where she's just absolutely dreamt of this, and it's all come together, and it's just that realization of a dream this evening. Almost a fairy tale for DeAnna Price. I'm so thrilled for her.
Well, Fiodorow so often lives in the shadow of Anita Wlodarczyk. Not tonight, she's got the silver. Another medal for Wang. She gets the bronze.
So our gold medal winner in the women's hammer, DeAnna Price of the US, 77.54. Joanna Fiodorow with a personal best, which I failed to mention that, 76.35, and Yang Wang, 74.76.